Bros, here we
Bros in the
are.
house.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. So Andrew should be joining here pretty shortly. He's just coming back from an event that he was at. So Kyle and I will be taking over until then. So we are here to enjoy a great time with you guys today on this Saturday. So we're one weekend closer to football. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Let's go. How many weeks is it? Like well, at least we got a few weeks till training camp, and that's when the football season really starts for me, for sure, man.
Exactly. Hey, once training camp's going, football season 100% right at that point. Like and that's actually the quarterbacks are going to come to the camp a little earlier, which I believe is the 18th that they will be there. So essentially when the rookies are reporting, they will be there too. So which is pretty cool. Actually, it might have even been earlier. I think Easton Stick might even said earlier. But either way, yes, we're less than a month away from football season starting. So I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So we are here, man. But what's up, guys, dude? What's up, Aether? What's up?
He's talking trash about my Madden game over here.
Sting with the guilt. Let's go. Kyle, I hope you were there. Your Madden game is trash. I watched the Chargers with the Chiefs. We were giving up 56 points. Get out of here. What system do you do? I just watched the game. Chargers won 34-30, man. This guy, dude. Talking smack real quick, dude.
Yeah, that was a tough game to watch. I was like, oh dang, I admit that was a tough one to watch. But hey, we had some fun with that one for sure with the rest of the guys. Hey, extinguish the guilt. He got his hat though too. So like you just that's pretty stoked.
Dude, awesome, man.
He got the first. So I did a refresh on one of the Bolt Bros hats that we had, where I just made it just a Bolt Bros logo across there, and it looks really good, man. Hey, if you can, man, tag us in an Instagram post with the picture of the hat, man. I want to see what it looks like. I haven't even got one myself yet. So,
dude, anytime you guys have gear of our gear, tag us on Instagram. We'll gladly repost you guys and give you guys a shout out, man. But once again, we appreciate all the love and support and everything too, guys. And once again, whoever's watching is not subscribed, hey, hit that subscribe button, man. We always appreciate it, man. And yeah, it looks like Kyle did get a haircut. He looks like a little shorter up there. No?
What do you mean?
I mean, the beard is there. The beard is there, but it seems shorter up here for some reason.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Maybe it's the hat. Hey, Bolt Bros hat basically make you look like got a haircut. Hey, bootlegger, man. What it do? Maybe is what you're trying to say. What do?
Yeah, what it do? What's up?
But man, we're hyped, dude. We're hyped to have you guys all here. But let's go ahead and jump into some quick slides here. And let's just talk a little bit about this. Whoa, Andrew's in the house. Let's go.
Hey guys. Yeah, I just dominated a bunch of fools on the pickleball court, so that's cool, dude.
Or possibly got dominated.
What? I'm sorry, what? Say that again? No.
Possibly got dominated. Yes, I said it.
No. It's the opposite way around, my dog. You know, my dude. People were crying after they left. You know, and I said, hey, it's all good, Mildred. Don't bring your A game next time, Mildred. It's all good.
87-year-old Mildred on the court.
Come on. That's right. She can't handle it, dude. She can't handle it. It's all good.
So that's good. Good to have you here. But basically we wanted to start out with a slide real quick. Men only want 4 things in life. They want a Justin Herbert Super Bowl win, holding that Lombardi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got that Lambo in that nice garage, nice garage, everything. You need that muscle.
Got them guns.
Yep. And then the end. And what
they
want at the end? The hot Tua.
Sit on that thing.
Hey, that's all we want. Men we're not that complicated, boys and girls.
No, we really are.
Pretty simple, man.
We're very simple human beings. Come on now.
We don't ask for much. We good. Right. We're good. But I thought it was just kind of a funny thing. But boys, once again, training camp was announced. Open training camp starts 24th of July. It's an interesting setup of how they're working it this year, where they're kind of doing like I don't know, you could get basically tickets for that week kind of situation. So it's like the week before they release the tickets. So like July 15th, you could sign up to get tickets. It's only capacity of 1,500 people at the Bolt. So you got to make sure you kind of schedule out appropriately. Make sure you're on it the week before the week that you want to go there and get your tickets. So
hopefully we get invited and get a tour. So we need to follow up on that, Kyle, and see if
I should reach out to them all and figure out what we can do with that. Yeah,
because that'd be pretty awesome. We get a little inside track, you know. Say what up to Justin Herbert. We take him to ramen. Oh, hey.
Yep.
Speaking of pickleball, we still need to challenge Jim Harbaugh and George East to some pickleball. What's up?
No doubt.
That's right.
We got to do that. Hey, we'll do that when we go there. Hey, Joe Harbaugh, let's go. Hey, apparently, and Thule's doing a pickleball tournament right now in LA.
Harbaugh.
So
Thule is?
great. Yeah, he's doing it right
Thule
now.
Plays?
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, we got to play Thule, dude. It's gonna be sick, dude.
Hey, and by the way, real quick, let's go ahead and do an intro real quick, guys, for this video. We've been just chatting away, and
we got a little carried away here, you know. So,
let's get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.
I'm Deion Henley. You watching the Bolt Bros podcast? Let's do it!
Here we are.
All right.
You know,
all right.
It's still weird, and I said this last week on the live. It's weird to think that Costa Mesa is now where the Raiders are playing. And,
isn't that crazy?
A little weird kind of feeling. It's a little icky, in my opinion.
I'm telling you, man. The Chargers should have. Chargers should have left some couple upper deckers in the toilets and stuff like that. You know, for the Raiders. Should have done. Put some tax on all the all the chairs or whatever, pulled all the R's out of all the keyboards, Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get more sloppy seconds, I get that. In dating especially, dude. Yeah, that facility's been rode hard, put away wet, right? So enjoy that. Look at this. Yeah. Look at what we're going to, folks.
Look at this beauty right here.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, but once again, guys, training camp's going to be at the Bolt in El Segundo, just short drive from where SoFi Stadium's at. 1,500 capacity there too. So make sure you log into Chargers.com to get training camp tickets a week before, basically the week that you want to go. So July 15th is the first date to be able to get tickets for the first week, which starts on the 24th. So it's going to be exciting, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to be able to be there for the start of the Harbaugh era. It's really cool. I was at a card show today here in Arizona. I was rocking my Harbaugh jersey today. And some people were like, man, you're probably the only person that's going to be wearing a Harbaugh jersey here. And I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go.
Yeah, baby,
I'm that guy. I'm that guy. But, I saw some Charger fans and chatted with some Charger fans and such too. So it was really fun, man. I think it was Zach who I chatted with. So shout out to Zach. Good to hang out with you and chat with you, man, and chat Chargers. So it was fun. But
but again, the Bolt's gonna be great. And Kyle, we need to get on those tickets quick. So we'll have to figure that out. And go from there. I mean, it's gonna be exciting season, folks. Oh, and by the way, this is pretty much just a video. We're just gonna talk. So throw your questions out. We'll just take your questions as it goes, right? So toss them out and we'll go from there, folks. So
yeah, no doubt. I mean, we have some things that we got to chat. We're going to chat a little bit about with are the Chargers overrated? Basically, there's this interesting article that we saw on The Athletic that I was kind of thrown off a little bit about, but we'll chat about that, guys. So I don't know if there's anything here in the chat that you guys want to chat about. Wait. Eddie's over here saying, how do you feel about the Raiders, Virginia? Oh, is there somebody in here?
Oh, there's a Virginia in here as well.
Somebody from Virginia,
For some reason, I was thinking, are they talking about moving to Virginia now? Like, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
I'll just say this. I think was it PFF? I can't remember who gave the Chargers the 24th ranked roster in the NFL. And there was only like in the AFC, we were like the 11th best roster in the AFC. So, but it's weird because they still had us winning like 10 games. So just kind of odd the way. Oh, I got to change my name. What is going on here, dude? Bush League, dude.
James is over here, baby. I'm
taking over, dude. Come on now. I'm the oldest and best looking, dude. Come on now.
Oh boy,
Here we go. Here we go.
Boy.
You know it.
Well, and the thing is, we'll chat a little bit more about what you just said there, Andrew, too, because I think
that I'm better looking.
What's that?
That I'm better looking. Is that what you're doing?
No, definitely not about that. No way.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Remember in the intro video, I'm the beauty, okay, of the group. All right.
That's a good point. Okay, I'm the brawn.
You can't be the brawn and the beauty. Come on now.
That's right.
And Grandizer, man. No, I don't think I was at the AZ Mills. I haven't been there for a while. I mean, I've gone there to play at Pickle Mall there, but it's been a while. But no, that wasn't me. But hey, good to see another Harbaugh jersey out here in AZ walking around, man. That's dope.
Man.
So this is just kind of some small news about the NFL that we want to just chat briefly about. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the whole situation with the Sunday ticket thing and the NFL going to court about it. Pretty much the NFL has been ordered to pay $96 million in commercial class damages. So that's like businesses, and then $4 billion to residential class damages per, the verdict. I think it was yesterday. It potentially could go up to $12 million. So basically people could get paid out for having Sunday ticket. And kind of the whole idea behind this lawsuit is that the NFL is essentially just trying to make as much money as they possibly can. And they're kind of basically pricing out people to even have Sunday ticket at their home. Like ESPN, basically, when the Sunday ticket was available, ESPN was like, hey, let's do it for $70 a month. And then you can even get a per team package if you want too.
Yeah.
And NFL's like, nope, we're going to make sure whoever wants to charge the most is going to get it pretty much.
Yeah.
So I said in the chat last night, Kyle, it was like, was it pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered? And essentially that's kind of what the NFL is doing right now. They're slaughtering themselves, being greedy at this point.
Yeah. And they really are, guys. Like it's ridiculous. Cause then, Paramount Plus has a game, and then it's like so stupid, like what's going on here? And it's ridiculous. So yeah, I agree. But maybe I paid $400 on it last year, so we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some of that money. Give me some of that cheddar. What's up? I'll just say, hey, why don't you just give me another year? That's fine.
Yeah, just hook me up with another free year, and I'm good with that. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
That would just be like basically giving everyone like $400.
Yeah. I think that would be phenomenal. But it's interesting what's going on with the NFL and this whole situation. Now, once again, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of elongated lawsuit and court battle about this too. So we'll see where it goes and how far it goes at this point. But I know that they have sent out renewal notices to people with the NFL Sunday ticket from last year. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. So this is a good question by Eddie. Daniel Wade, David Drogemeyer, Locked on Chargers. Biggest concern for the Bolts is defensive line. Bolt Bros, do you agree with them? I would actually say I think our defensive line is going to be fine. I largely because of our pass rush, and I think Poona Ford, Morgan Fox, Tito, and Scott Mackler, they're going to be fine. I think we're going to be okay. I think my biggest concern is our cornerback room, right? Because I do think that we're a little bit and again, even safeties, right? Tony Jefferson hasn't played all last year. He's 32. Does he still have the gas in the tank? But I think more the defensive backs would be my concern. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, bros?
I mean, I think that Morgan Fox is very underrated. Like, he's not. He deserves a lot more praise than what he's actually been given and stuff like that. So I mean, I think that Morgan Fox is fantastic for sure. But
Megan
Ford, I know. Yeah, that's right.
Megan Fox. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Poona Ford is probably the questionable one for me, but because I know he's been more of a backup for a lot of people. So, but obviously our pass rush, like with the edges, are going to be freaking phenomenal though. So yeah.
Yeah, and the whole term of defensive line is, your outside linebackers essentially too, or edge players too. And we have a phenomenal edge, room in general. And we have a slide later on that we'll chat a little bit more about it. But I do think it's a very good segue into the next slide here about the article here talking about basically, hey, this writer, his name is Mike Jones from The Athletic. And and he basically said, hey, Chargers are overrated. And I think that's kind of an interesting idea because I don't really feel like the Chargers have been put in an overrated category, in my opinion. I do think that there's a lot of hype with this team, which is every year, but I don't really feel like we're like overrated. Could be a little bit over or underlooked in a sense, but I think we're kind of in a mid-range of we don't know where we're going to go with this team kind of thing because there's a lot of shifting all around. And just to speak a little bit on what Mike Jones said here, this is from the report and it's also from Charger Report, which they took from The Athletic. Jim Harbaugh should be good for Justin Herbert and the Chargers in the long run. Absolutely. He was regarded as one of the top coaches on the market this past winter, but an overnight turnaround might be far-fetched, particularly since Harbaugh hasn't coached in. I couldn't say that for some reason.
Yeah, particularly.
Since Jim Harbaugh hasn't coached in the NFL for 10 years. Now, I think that's a ridiculous statement because he's coached at a high level in college. Come on. And he won a natty just now.
It's like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, what are you talking about? And also the Chargers made an effort to bolster their defense. Herbert will be missing a number of his go-to guys, such as Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. All right, that's a crazy statement in my opinion, because once again, it's not like we're rebuilding this team and you're saying, oh, they're overhyped. They don't have guys. We got guys. And guarantee, once again, you know what Jim Harbaugh did with the Niners. Once again, I know that was back in 2011, but he went from a 5-12 team to a 12-5 team the next year to an NFC championship. Yeah. The guy's a motivator, right?
Not just that, to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They went all the way.
I don't think it was his first year. I think it wasn't
the first year. Yeah, but still, but in the time there, they got to the
Super Bowl. Yeah, but they were like 5-10 or 6 and they were horrible. And then
it was 5-12, I think, or something like that. And then they ended up going 12-5 the next year with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, dude, James Miguel just called you Sleepy Joe, dude.
Sleepy Joe. What a disaster! I got a par 6. I'm a par 6 golfer. No, you're not. I'm a par 8 golfer. I think that was so hilarious when he said that during the game.
Yeah,
but what does it even matter? Jeez.
Yeah, but to your point though, look, Jim Harbaugh knows how to win, right? But he keeps it simple for the teams to be successful.
Big time.
And again, one thing, and I'll get to Aether's question here in a second too. One of the bigger concerns one thing that I would say last year, we lost by one score. We were 1-9, 1-9, guys. That just shows you how close it is from a good team to a bad team. And our defense was horrible. Our running game was horrible. And that was the difference. If we could just get our defense better and our running game better, we're fine. We know Herbert's going to sling the rock. It's going to be fine.
Well, even at that card show I was at today, somebody brought that up about the Chargers too. He's like, you guys got to stop finding ways to lose in the fourth. And I'm like, well, the whole thing about it is that we are trying to find a way to, not have that as an issue. Let us be the Pacers later on in the fourth quarter that we pretty much can control the game through a run game. It's not about winning the first quarter. It's about winning into the fourth quarter and win the game, basically. Let's reverse the whole fortune here. Right. How about we find a way to win in the fourth versus find a way to lose in the fourth? And I really think that Jim Harbaugh has got this team very, very much motivated and very bought into what he's doing, to be honest, and locked in. I think it's going to be a phenomenal situation all around. So,
yeah. So Aether's question, I saw that teams had fewest starting quarterbacks in the last 20 years. Chargers with tie with the fewest with the Patriots at 9. Yep. My question is how they come up with Herbert and Rivers and only last 15 season. Yeah.
Well, you could even throw back to Breeze too. 2001 Breeze. He was drafted in 2001. Yeah, with LaDainian Tomlinson. The last 3 quarterbacks have been awesome for us guys. Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback. Phillip Rivers, we'll see if he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Justin Herbert, he's got historical stats already for what he's done so far. Yep. I mean, it's been great. It's been great for the Chargers. And to be honest, I was chatting with a Vikings fan today, and he's like, yeah, we haven't had good fortunes with quarterbacks for a long time. And it sucks. Like, it sucks. And you hate to be that team. Like, I got a buddy who's a Steelers fan. He's like, dude, we lost Ben Roethlisberger, and we can't figure it out from here. Like, just can't figure it out.
Yeah,
that's hard to be a quarterback.
Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, I get it.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, well, and again, it is tough, right? But the nice thing is when you have here's the difference. When you have a good running game, the passing game opens up. That's the whole point. Play action pass actually works. That's what got Phil Rivers. When you got LT in the background, you're like, oh crap. Yep. You know, we got LT, we got Gus Edwards, we got J.K. Dobbins. They're going to run the ball. They're in a running formation. They play action pass, throw it deep.
Yep.
You know, if you look at Brock Purdy had, I think 12 fewer attempts than Justin Herbert in passes, but had more passing yards.
Yeah.
But it was because the play action pass opened it up and we were throwing the ball deep and we weren't checking it down to Austin Eckler. Right. Yep. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, when you have a running game, there's a lot more that you can do.
Yeah. Well, right. And
that's here we go. Call my baby. I always have to love you, but afraid to ask the question. Oh, that's right. You know what? Hey, you got to throw it out there right now, son.
We should put a Thayer on a freaking questions lockout until he pays that.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Hey, Aether said he slid in my DMs and called me Darlin this time and said, "Hey, my baby," and I was like, "Darlin."
What's
but
going
it's
on
odd
here?
that two people that same day called me Darlin for some reason, and I was like, "What the?" That was so weird. But to get back on kind of like our subject here, you know, like, are the Chargers overrated? Well, it's because of this guy kind of coming over here too, right? The hype of Jim Harbaugh, the Harbaugh effect is a real thing for us guys. And that's what a lot of these media guys are starting to look at and say, like, Jim Harbaugh has done a great job of, you know, pushing teams to the next level very quickly and turn teams around really quick. I mean, like I said, a lot of these players are very, very bought in all around. And you got to love to see that. You have to think now he's got a quarterback that's a top 5 quarterback, and he's never had a quarterback like that in the NFL. And it's going to be just an awesome, awesome situation. Now, am I expecting us to have a 15-1 or excuse me, I say 16-1 because there's 17 games season or whatever, or even win all 17 games?
17-1. No. Like, oh, what happened to that one game?
Hey, you know, it's COVID or something. I don't know. Something like that, you know, who knows? But bottom line, like, we got a lot of hype on this team, and it's exciting to see. I do feel it's a different hype to this team because, you know, think of some of those off seasons where they're like, Chargers are loaded, great team, but then a paper team. I feel like a lot of the media are saying less about paper team now. I think they're thinking they have a legitimate chance to be very good, kind of thing. So,
well, they finally have adults in the room, dude. Like,
exactly.
So, look, Brandon Staley was over his skis. You know that. I know that. The NFL knows that. I think every NFL team knew that Brandon Staley was over his skis. He didn't know what to do, you know, and he let the players do whatever the hell they wanted to get ready. They didn't make them practice regiment, right? They didn't go out there and do things, you know, and
that's not coaching, you know?
Yeah,
like
exactly right.
Yeah. A coach needs to kind of like lead them and say, hey, I saw you doing this. You need to be over here, not over there. Like, you know, stuff like that. You know, like, I mean, I know, like, freaking Bill Belichick, he got on like the players' cases all the time. You know, he's just straight up like said, hey, like, you're over here, but you needed to be over there. Like, you know, it's like, and I know you know how to do it, so just do it, you know? Yeah.
So both bros will most likely happen this season are Bolts offense wins game or running the clock, defense win game, game winning stops, Bolts win two score games.
Dude, exactly. That's the whole idea. Think of Marty Ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Marty Ball would basically find ways to basically end the game. And he would run the ball. You got 5 minutes left in the game. You're up by 4 points, whatever it is. Just make sure you keep getting first downs. Your goal is to get 3 first downs in the game.
That's what Gus Edwards was there for. Actually, let me ask you this. I did a running back video. What do you guys think in the chat? who's going to be the number one running back? J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, or Kamani Vidal? I think it's going to be J.K. Dobbins personally. But just because he's an overall back, Gus Edwards will be more the short yardage guy. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
So it's interesting thing about that. Like, so I was
the safety scissors, those plastic ones with the little metal edge.
Yeah.
Those are so funny, dude.
You have, dude. Dang.
Yeah, right.
Those are baby scissors. So it was an interesting thing. I looked at Gus Edwards and I watched his highlights from last year. It's funny because I kept hearing a lot of the media talk about like, oh, he's just like a goal line back. Cool. Like, essentially, if you think about Austin Eckler, he scored a lot of touchdowns on the goal line. It wasn't a 40-yard run. It wasn't anything like that. It was all mostly like goal line situations. Gus Edwards had 190 attempts and run with 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I noticed a lot in watching his 2023 highlights last year, he actually had a good amount of long runs. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of like a baby, like Derrick Henry in a weird way. Like
baby Derrick Henry.
Baby Derrick Henry, baby.
He probably wouldn't like that analogy.
Yes. I mean, I will say that to him at the training camp. Hey, baby Derrick Henry.
He'd be like, what the hell?
Oh.
But the one thing I was
he was going to hit him with that baby stuff.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, my baby.
My baby.
Hey, my baby. But the one thing I was looking at is thinking, okay, what's Christian McCaffrey looking like for plus 20-yard type runs? Yeah. Well, Gus Edwards did 6 of them last year. I think Christian McCaffrey like 9 and had 2 times the amount of carries, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think he has an explosive ability to be a very good back to be able to do those long runs. And I do think he's built better than J.K. Dobbins in a sense, because J.K. keeps getting injured all around. So I think that there's a lot there to it that I personally think Gus Edwards might be the starter, in my opinion.
Interesting. So I guess I'm the only one.
I'm definitely in that same vein. I believe Gus Edwards is going to be RB1. And the main thing is like, because being at the Ravens, Lamar Jackson was RB1 as well. So, like the rest of the actual running backs didn't really get a fair shake on their stats and stuff like that to kind of prove that they actually can be that every down back. And I think Gus Edwards he's bigger than J.K. Dobbins, and you know what Harbaugh wants out of a running back, and that was not what Austin Eckler was, and that's kind of closer to what J.K. Dobbins is. I would say
it'd be more Kamani Vidal. Yeah. So
I don't know. I mean,
J.K. Dobbins is pretty big. He's still like 2 something. He's a big dude. He's not small. The difference is that J.K. Dobbins is a little more athletic and a little more. He's got more wiggles, but he's had injury issues. Right, that's the biggest problem. He got wiggles, dude. He got wiggles.
Is he a youngin? He's a youngling.
Okay, well, Aether, we'll answer your question once you send us the $200.
That's right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up. I had to say it.
Yeah. Well, what his question was, I don't think 4 years for us to. Well, I think it'll be quicker all around.
Guys, I actually think we could do it this year. I look, they're simplifying everything, guys. I know I probably sound a little crazy here, but guys, you have Justin Herbert. They're simplifying the offense. And by the way, the rookies are reporting on the 19th.
Yep.
They get beaten like a horse because they're rookies. So the rookies are there. They are going to coach them up they're going to whip them into shape so they're not rookies when game 1 starts. Yep. So I'm just saying, guys, like, everyone's bought in and they're putting in all the effort that they need to, which is exciting to see. And dude, Brandon Staley just was like, do what you want, show up when you want. Remember Bosa being down in Florida with his brother, goofing off on the beach or whatever? You're like, come on, dude. Like,
they got 100% participation in off-season training. That's beautiful. And to the slide too, this is just something that I love to look at, going back to the Harbaugh effect. These players are bought into this system. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen 100% participation It's the first time I've seen players just basically saying, hey, look, the messaging is the same from top to bottom. Yep. Everybody's united all around. Like, that's where this hype comes for these Charger fans, in my opinion, that we're like, yeah, I think we could really do some big damage this year. I think we could really go far in the playoffs. I feel like we have a great shot to do something special this year.
And when you play physical, it opens up so much more because other teams know, dude, we're not finessing you. The Chiefs actually have a very physical training camp. What did Matt Money Smith say? I think Mike Tomlin, he was quoting Mike Tomlin. He said, it's pretty hard to fight if you don't spar. Right? Is that what he said? Something like that.
That's hard good.
Anyways,
that makes sense.
My point is, like, you need to get some hits before you can go out there and actually play a real game. So,
amen.
You need to get out there and do it. So
I would even, not just get some hits, but to get hit a little bit. You know.
Yep.
That's the fact, man. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face,
dude. And the whole thing too. I think it was either last year or the year before. I think it was second year with Brandon Staley. We played against the Chiefs, and I remember Andy Reid saying something like, "Yeah, we felt like the Chargers weren't in good condition, as in conditioned as players. They weren't ready. Essentially, they were still like almost playing preseason at this point.
Yeah."
And after like week 5. And so we knew if we were going to be able to be down by 3 or whatever going into the fourth quarter, we're going to win because they're going to be gassed and we're going to be all fully conditioned, ready to go and such. I do not expect that with the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. Like, Jim Harbaugh gets these players locked in and they are going to be ready to go week 1. Like,
100%.
It's going to be great. And that's the thing I love about that. And that's where optimism comes from the Chargers fans. And that's where we do think maybe we do have a great shot to do something. Are we overhyped? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I do think that we have another great hiring here with Joe Ortiz. Like, Ortiz was a guy that was a very hot GM in the NFL and actually turned down a lot of jobs because he just wanted a right fit. And he found the right fit. He wanted to be with Jim Harbaugh. And this guy has been awesome for us. This
been fire.
I mean, think about the free agency situation. I mean, obviously you had to let go of some guys, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. But guess what? We have like $21 million still to spend on players going into training camp. Like, we've never done that. And then the pickups that we've done in the wide receiver room, I feel like we got a great situation there. Tight end situation. Hayden Hurst might have one of his best years with his team. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, I think could be a great 1-2 punch as long as J.K. could be, healthy. I mean, bottom line, there's a lot of different ways that I could say, hey, look, we got a competent GM that knows what the heck he's doing finally.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I like this by Eddie. 53-man roster prediction, 300 after rookies, Hines, Barnhart, Dent. I would say those are the 3.
Sure.
And well, they got that guy Morris Brash, right? I think he was signed, so
he's officially signed. So so he made it. Yeah.
Yep. So, but I think these other 3 have a potential shot, right?
I don't know if it would be on the 53 for some of those guys. Like, I think Barnhart might end up being practice squad, in my opinion. I think Dent will probably end up being practice squad unless they let go of JT Woods. That's the side that I think could happen.
I mean, that guy's like nowhere to be found. You haven't heard nothing from that dude.
I don't know where he's at, what he's doing, and where he's been. It's sad to see because the guy has talent. I just think that for whatever reason, it ain't working. It's weird.
Yeah. So this is good. Starting tight ends, Hurst or Disley. I think both of them are going to start, dude. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a 1 or a 2, dude. They're going to both be on the field a lot, man.
Yeah.
So
we'll see a lot of 2 tight end sets. A lot.
I don't think you're going to see. I think they're both going to be out there. So I think that's partially why you might have a hard time seeing how many people make the squad as wide receivers, right? Because we're not going to need to carry that many wide receivers. I mean, maybe 6.
Yeah.
Hey, Twit, what's up?
And so it's an interesting thing. I had a conversation with a guy at the card show I was at today too, and he was talking about like our tight ends and such. And he's like, who do you guys have over there? Like, I mean, who is it? And I was like, oh, we got like Hayden Hurst, Will Disley, like Will Dissly's like a good blocking tight end, and that's going to be really necessary and everything for this, run game, essentially. And then I started thinking a little bit about our fullback, and I was thinking, oh, wow, well, we got Ben Mason here. Who is kind of a little bit of an untapped guy. But if you watch, say, like the Gus Edwards highlights from last year, you can see Ricard, their fullback. Dude, that guy moves around all over the place.
Yep.
So are we going to play with a little bit more like I formation type situations, a lot more fullbacks in the backfield too? They did a lot of like two running back type sets where he kind of choose either I think it was even a tight end, Isaiah Likely to his left, and then it was Gus Edwards to the right. He could kind of choose who he wants to give the ball to. There's a lot of interesting formations that are going to be happening with this offense. So I'm excited to be able to really see where it all goes with the tight ends room. And once again, Hayden Hurst is probably the number one at this point.
Yeah, but I think it's even like the wide receivers, right? I don't know that you're really going to see a whole lot of a wide receiver one thing. I think it's just going to be a rotation of players,
big time.
And like a good example, the running back room. And if you watch my video on the running back room, I think all three are going to be used. You're going to see J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Kamani Vidal, all three.
Yep.
So
nice.
I just think I think they're just going to rotate players, right? And Gus Edwards might and J.K. Dobbins might not like that, but the reality is they can have a healthy season. And I mean, J.K. Dobbins is here. He's on a prove it deal with the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I just foresee a lot of rotation of players. I really do. I don't see it, being, ones and twos.
And Grandizer, it's a sports card show, but credit card show would be interesting to go to too.
Yeah, that'd be great. Grandizer, put your credit card number out there. That'd be great, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
give me your credit card number. I gotta wire you $1 million or something.
Yeah, I played with that Tyson McGuffin pickleball paddle, the illegal one, and oh my gosh, I was dominating fools, dude.
Oh boy,
they couldn't handle the truth, dude. That's what I kept telling people. I was like, I'm the truth, man. You can't handle it.
Is that what you were playing with today?
Yeah. I was demoing it. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's pretty fun, dude. I was on TV too. You know what I mean? I'm on these commercials, for the pickler. Pretty sweet. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm a celebrity, folks. That's what it's all about.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
You heard it here, folks. He's famous for tickling his pickler.
Yeah, watch out.
So Robert says the Chargers are going to become an underrated team over time. People will all of a sudden be doubting them because they lost a few stars. However, I see them making playoffs this season. I agree. Look, what we did in the past, it just, it didn't work, and, why continue to do the same things over and over again and expect a different result? It's not there.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I think this team has a lot of talent throughout, and it's kind of honestly, I really wonder, and even to think like the Ravens, it's not like they tend to, and I always compare to the Ravens of what they do in position. They don't tend to try to overpay in positions. They tend to try to have just a lot of talent all throughout the team. And I think that's kind of going to be the mantra of this team. It's going to be a lot less of, hey, we're going to pay $30 million a year to this wide receiver kind of situation. Yeah. I think it might be a lot of like rotational type guys all around. One of the guys actually at the sports card show, he talked a little bit about wanting to see Brandon Rice finding a way on this team. And I'm like, well, it's a pretty big room right now. There's probably about 6 wide receivers right now that'll probably make the 53-man squad. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough.
Aether, send us that $200. We'll answer the question.
This guy. Oh man.
Yep. Oh, hey, yeah. We'll answer the question.
You got to put that sound effect out there. Boom, boom, boom,
and super chat. Aether only needs super chats now. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. No, but I could see that. I mean, if the Chargers start winning, they're going to rotate them in. I mean, that's what's going to happen, dude. So, I mean, that's just it.
So, I wanted to give a shout out to, I know, Aether.
Oh, that's right. Interest rate too. I'm thinking what, 7%?
Interest on the $200.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Aether. He sent this over to me over the chat, and I thought it was just something interesting to chat about too.
James, my baby. Oh, here we go.
So this is from another like podcast that kind of did like an AFC West stacking up from like positions. So you got obviously your quarterback, your skill players, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and DBs. And this is pretty much where they set up the Chargers. Yeah. This is where they set up the Chargers. And I thought it was really interesting that they put the defensive line and the linebackers as the worst positions. in the AFC West, and even skill players too.
Yeah.
Like you realize one of your biggest skill players is your quarterback, right? So you're essentially saying, oh, the Raiders, who don't necessarily know who the heck they have as a quarterback, Aiden O'Connell on one of the worst offensive lines, you feel they have better skill players all around. Sure, they got Devontae Adams. Cool. Get it? They got a pretty good tight end situation and everything. Cool. I get it. But you don't have an O-line to really protect or even to get the ball to those guys. Now, I do think that they have, Max Crosby is one of the best one of the best ends in the game. But I don't really feel like they have like that solid of skill players. I feel Justin Herbert elevates talent all around for the offensive side. The defensive side, when they say the defensive line being the worst and the linebackers being worst, dude, we have 4 dogs at the end on our defensive line. Like, like Thule, Mac, Bosa, Dupree. Like, come on. Like, this is a really, really odd chart, and I just don't really get it at all. But shout out to Aether throwing that over to me, and I thought it was a good topic to just kind of point out. But once again, this is another podcast, idea of what the AFC West is going to be like.
They just hate on the Chargers. That's all it is. Yeah,
I feel like they like the Raiders or something. Like, is there like a Raiders podcast thing? Like, I mean, they really hyped up the Raiders a lot in this one. I mean,
well, and it's funny. Like, I don't understand why, right? And like the quarterback, you got to say Patrick Mahomes number 1 quarterback, sure,
easily,
but I don't know. And I can understand the skill players a little bit. Defensive line, maybe. Offensive line, maybe. I don't know. Linebackers. I think the Chargers have better linebackers than that for sure. And then the DBs is a concern. So I don't know. You're kind of splitting hairs. And Eddie Kyle has been talking to the director quite a bit. So the director actually lives right down the street from you, right, Kyle?
Yeah, he lives like not too far from where I'm at right now.
Let's go egg his house, dude. Let's go egg his house, or toilet paper his house.
There you go.
Toilet paper,
bros, baby.
Yeah, both bros with toilet paper. Yeah.
With our face on it,
Yeah.
That would be
I
great.
just want to wrap up the idea that are the Chargers overrated? I personally think, and I want to hear from you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
You think they're overrated, underrated, or mid-range? Like, I feel like we're kind of just in this we don't know what to expect kind of zone.
That's what I feel too.
But I do have a lot of optimism for the team, basically. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat about that too. So I think it's a
record predictions as well too. I mean, put what you think out there. I think for me, 10-7 and 12-5.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Good over under. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I do
go ahead.
I do think that YD CFF's prediction here, if everyone stays healthy, Bosa, especially Bosa, the Bolts will lead the league in sacks. And I really truly believe that. Like, I mean, once again, we start week 1 against the Raiders, dude. Mac eats versus the Raiders, dude.
Yeah,
and
he does.
He does a great job always early in the season. If there is some sort of bet out there, I'm sure there's a bet out there for Khalil Mack, amount of sacks, week 1. I'm going to say it's going to be 4 sacks that he's going to find a way to get to the Raiders. For some reason, he loves to get sacks versus the Raiders. And maybe it's just a little vengeance type situation or whatnot, but he does great early on in the season too. First couple weeks, he always gets a ton of sacks. So I expect him to do really, really well week 1 out right out the gate. But these edge players, Dupree, Thule, Mac, Bosa, I mean, it's dangerous. And I do think that they might intermingle them in the inside line too. Like, once again, what was that stat last year, Andrew, about if Mac, Thule, and Bosa are on the line at the same time?
Yeah, 25% sack rate.
Unbelievable, right?
Crazy.
I mean, you could rush 5, have all 4, Bud Dupree, Mac, Bosa, and then just one like Puna Ford in the nose, just jamming the nose. Forget about it, dude. Like, it's going to be ugly, dude. And so this is my point, right? Like I get that people are going to say, well, you lost all these good weapons, but the good weapons never worked for us. They never worked. And so I don't know, man. Either likely to happen, Herbert gets MBT and AFC West Tyler, or defense be top 5. I said top 5 defense. I think we have a good defense. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we should definitely. I mean, that's what I really want to see is I want to see that our defense has been flipped this time. You know, like we've been struggling at defense for so long. Like it's just like that would be the biggest improvement in my opinion. You know, we've seen Herbert go off. We've seen our run game go off, and like our receivers have amazing catches. I want to see like our defense just lock down the other team. You know, that's really what I need to see. Yeah,
they've been talking a lot about that defense. It's interesting because the way they're describing it is, I think, what Brandon Staley tried to do, but could not accomplish, if that makes any sense. Because Brandon Staley wanted people to play fast and free, but the problem was he confused people. They didn't understand where they needed to be. They're like, what? Like, I'm doing what? Like, he hand this guy off to here and whatever. This is more read and react. And you can do a lot of audibles on the field. And that's why like Junior Colson is going to be very important if he wears the green dot, which we'll see, but my point is I think the defense is going to be what Brandon Staley was trying to accomplish, just couldn't communicate it properly.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I mean, the thing about it is that you hear about, and I've already said it, I think a couple times in this podcast, the coaching staff from top to the bottom, same message. There's no disorder by any means. There's no, hey, I want you guys to do this versus what he told you to do. It's everybody's the same mindset all throughout. And the communication is clear as day, top to bottom. And I don't think Brandon Staley had that at all. Like,
no, even that one comment, he talked about getting fired from the Chargers. He's like, if you read what he said, it made no sense.
Yeah.
He sounds like Joe Biden out there. He's like, you unpack all of it. You think about it. You talk to people. And you're like, what are you saying? Like all of what? What are you talking about? Right. So, but this is a good question. Are you scared Minter's defense might not translate to the NFL? No, not at all. And I'll tell you why.
Not. Yeah. Minter, Minter was with the Ravens anyways, so it's not like he's like not it's not like NFL gameplay is unknown to him. So
yeah. Well, and remember this, guys, when Brandon Staley was fired, and actually, who even took over the defense last year? I can't remember now. It was who took over? Oh my gosh,
Ainsley.
That's right, Ainsley. We were the number 1 defense for the last 3 games of the season, statistically speaking. Number 1. So it wasn't a personnel problem. It was a coaching problem. They just went back to the very big. Now, again, we played crappy teams. We played the Broncos. We played a few other things. But my point is, it wasn't a personnel issue. It was a coaching issue. And so I just don't foresee this defense being a problem, especially the way that people are talking about it. They're saying, no, it's great.
Well, and you got to think, Jesse Minter was also under Mike McDonald, who Mike McDonald is now the head coach for the Seahawks. Same defense. It's literally the same exact defense.
100%. Yep.
Last year, the Ravens were the sixth overall defense last year, giving up 301 yards per game and 16.5 points a game. Dude, that would be an absolute dream for this team to be able to give up only 16.5 points per game. You realize what that means. What is the stat? I think that when the defense allows less than 28 points and Justin Herbert's rating is like 22-6 or something like that in wins.
Crazy. Yeah.
You understand what that means. If we can get this defense to 16.5 points per game and score, I'll just say something stupid, 17 points a game. Now that means that we're probably going to have something where you're going to have a lot of fourth quarter situations, but I don't see a Justin Herbert led team that we're scoring 17. We'll probably score in the 25 to 26-ish points per game. That's going to be a massive difference of win and losses for us, because last couple of seasons, it was always almost exactly the same amount of defensive points that we give up to the amount of offensive points we give up or we score. It's just not enough disparity. in that.
I agree. This is a great question by Eddie. And we'll probably think differently about this. Bolt Bros, the 2024 draft class, 3rd round, will be our biggest Bolt steal surprise. Aboigbe, Tarheeb Steele, Cam Hart, Vidal, Rice, or Cornelius Johnson. I would say the 2 there is Vidal and Tarheeb Steele right now are standing out.
Yeah.
Aboigbe is a little bit of a work in progress, and I'm not sure Brandon Rice and Cornelius Johnson make the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my team. My take.
The thing about Kamari Vidal is that it's going to depend on what happens with J.K. Dobbins. And you're going to see him on the field a lot if J.K. Dobbins is not there. And when I watch Kamari, I've said that he looks a lot like Ray Rice to me, a guy that could catch the ball, a guy that's got really good speed. He could actually do a great job getting through gaps in the line and such too. He's got a very good eye all around to see, the right lanes to run. So he kind of reminds me a lot of Ray Rice. He could be a big steal. I'm a big fan to see what Aboigbe does. And that's one of those players that I'm definitely going to watch a lot in the preseason. Because I didn't really hear a whole heck of a lot from him in training camp at all, or off-season training camp at all. So,
yeah. Aboigbe, well, he had that neck injury, right?
Yeah.
So he's been. I think they kind of talk about him being a little bit of work in progress. But you've heard some good things about Cam Hart. Derwin James talked about Cam Hart, likes his size. I personally think Cam Hart's more of a safety, in my opinion. But that's just me. So we'll see. But
I definitely like Tarheeb Steele and Cam Hart. I think are the steals for me, in my opinion. I liked Cam Hart a lot in the pre-draft and all of our mock drafts. I did pick him up a couple times, I think, actually. But still, he's been surprising me. Seeing some of the reports about him in the in training camp and OTAs and stuff, that he's been actually doing super good. So
yeah. Will Herbert run the ball much?
Over under.
Ooh.
I think he needs to use his legs more. My opinion of what's going to happen is that you're going to think about it, man, I'm trying to remember which game, and I watched it coming back from a flight, but it was a Chiefs-Bills playoff game, divisional game. I want to say it was 2021 or something. Man, I forgot how good that game was. It was incredible, and Josh Allen was making the necessary throws to go ahead in the game or basically take the lead back. And dude, Josh Allen was a dog in that game, but Patrick Mahomes found a way to win that game like he always does. And he used his legs so intelligently throughout that to make sure 4th and 7. Oh man, I got to make something happen. All right, go back to, throw the ball or whatever. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to run and get my legs going and everything like that and extend the drive. And he just made clutch play after clutch play. And I really feel that we need to make sure we use Justin Herbert a little bit more outside of the pocket. Use his legs a little bit. The dude's big. The dude is huge. Remember the first game against the Chiefs when he straight trucked a linebacker, dude? That's awesome. Once again, I get it. You don't want to get injured, but we got to use his legs somewhere or another, dude.
Yeah, and he can use his legs smartly too, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a good point here. To the point I made, Andrew Jerry Rice said, any wide receiver can't get open when the defensive back is playing 5 yards off, doesn't belong in the NFL. I agree. It's a little strange how soft some of these defenses have been. I think you'll see more press man. I think you'll see a little more physical at the line, which I think is smart. So that'll be interesting to see, because someone like Asante Samuel is a smaller guy. He doesn't translate to that type of play very well, in my opinion. So I'm very curious to see how that plays with him.
Yep.
Aether says the Chargers select defensive tackle mix next season in the draft. Mason Graham, let's go. That guy's going to be pretty solid.
Dude's a stud. Dude's an absolute stud. I thought he was just a freshman last year, though, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that would be huge for us to pick him up.
Yeah, he's great size. I mean, the guy reminds me a lot of Morgan Fox in a way, but just a little bit more oomph to it, Oomph.
Yeah. Ian Barnby, I'm okay with the wide receiver, offensive line, linebacker, bolster defense lineman. Just need the running backs able to deliver 5 yards per run. Yeah, and quarterback will be fine, especially if the pass rush is solid. what will make your defensive backs look better is if you have a pass rush. You're putting pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
You're going to make the defensive back room look even better, right? But remember, Derwin James, when they say they're probably going to do something like, okay, cool, Derwin, we want you all over Brock Bowers like white on rice in the first game against the Raiders. Just lock his ass down.
Yep.
Get physical, punch him in the baby maker as he tries to run out. Boom! Just give him a little tap, but that's it. But he could lock down Kelsey. Why didn't he just do that? Lock Kelsey down. Just man coverage that guy. So, take him off the board. So anyways, I think you're going to see more of that this year. That's one thing Jesse mentioned to talk about.
Yep. No, I mean, and the one thing too that they've been saying about Derwin is that he might be playing a little bit more up to the front, being more of an edge guy, a lot more, up to the line, possibly more of a pass rusher situation. You got to imagine that. Think if you have a set where you have Tuli Mack, Bosa at the line, and then you put Derwin James up in the front too as a pass rusher. You put basically, obviously kind of more of a zone situation in the back end. But dude, what are you going to do? What are you going to do in that situation? Like, that is 4 guys at the line that could just get after that quarterback and just cream them, dude. Like, I fully feel very strongly week 1, this team is going to be so jacked up against the Raiders, and they're going to get so many sacks because, once again, the rating of that O-line is actually considered as one of the worst O-lines in the NFL right now, preseason rankings. Right. So they're going to eat heavy tacos from Taco Batty, dude.
Yeah, Taco Batty. Oh, so good.
That's right.
Yeah, with Harbaugh, do you think he'll produce the amount of batted passes Herbert has?
Yeah.
I think he started kind of doing this sort of sidearm thing. Yeah, I think they're going to sort of focus on just going back to fundamentals a bit.
Yep.
I think really, especially under last couple of seasons, are like, hey, Herbert, do whatever you want. And they didn't coach him. They kind of let him get these bad habits at some point, right? People, you need to know where your blind spots are. And I don't suspect that's going to happen with this regime.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And exactly what he alluded to, that pump faking video. Once again, when I was chatting about that, a lot of people were like, yeah, he pump fakes all the time. And I'm like, I don't think he does. Like, Justin Herbert does a lot of just like read and react and go. Like, he doesn't try to do those little things. I was talking a lot about, look at some of our lives last year. I remember saying, if he's going to run out of the pocket, he should at least try to do just some couple pump fakes or pump fake and then run the ball. Like, just give him that small little like hesitation in the defenders.
Yep.
And that gives you a little bit more opening to be able to get a couple extra yards or then some. So I think it could be huge for him with a pump fake element.
Yeah, and Dean Leonard. I like Dean. I think Dean Leonard's good. I know Derwin talked about him a few times. And he's quick. He's physical. He's big. He's from Canada. We don't really like that. But whatever.
We got a guy from Canada in the chat right now, though.
Oh, okay. Hey. Oh, Canada. Well, hey, we got two doofuses running for president this year. So I mean,
It's a little Beavis and Butthead, dude. Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead, dude. Yeah, honestly, I hate politics. It's so frustrating, dude. Yeah. It's so frustrating. But I also think that the cornerback room will be okay. I don't think it'll be our strength, but I think it'll be okay as long as we can stay healthy. That's my bigger concern. So,
I really think the whole thing with like Tarheeb Still and his hype that he's getting out of camp. Now, once again, this is the underwear Olympics. They're just running around with jerseys on. They're not running with pads on. You could look like an absolute stud. When the pads are on, it changes. A little bit more pop into the pads, dude. People hitting each other kind of thing. Different weight feeling in your body and everything too. But Tarheeb Still could be one of those X factors to this team that could really kind of shift this team based upon what you're hearing from the camp. I mean, he could really be a great nickel corner for us. But at the same side, Jasir Taylor sounds like he wants to keep that position, which obviously no dude wants to lose his job. And so it's going to be a good camp battle to watch.
Yeah. And that's good. It's good to show depth, right? Because injuries happen, Yeah, by the way, that was kind of funny. I was like, man, is this a real thing? USA versus Japan? I saw it on YouTube. I'm like, what the hell am I watching here?
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I mean, who did they even send over there anyway?
What the heck that was? Is this like some kind of World Cup for like American football or something like that? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Damn. Yeah, I mean, what players were over there? Was it college players or something like that?
Bolt Bros, who has the best golf game? That's by far me, son. By far me.
I'm terrible at golf. Yeah, I play mini golf. Yeah, that's about it.
I don't think I've ever played like 9 holes or whatever. I mean, hey, maybe I'll go to Top Golf and just rocket the ball, and then hey, cool, man, I like that thing. See you later, sucker.
Yeah. My only real experience with golf is Top Golf. So yeah. Yeah.
Rich, don't like my shirt, huh? Come on, this is the Bolt Bros. You got to show off the merch, baby. What you talking about here?
Well, I think what he's saying is that it's not those like flowery shirts that you're
wearing.
Yeah. It's not those patterned shirts you got there.
So Rich, you missed it. I was just dominating fools at the pickleball court today. I literally was just playing fools for 4 hours who just
speaking of another Canadian here, Rich.
That's right. Yeah, Rich is from Canada. We have to enunciate correctly for him, and that's okay.
Dude.
Rich, I'm still waiting for my maple syrup. I'll give you my address, buddy. So
that's exactly it, Robert, dude. So long, sucker, and you just hit the ball. Blah. Happy Gilmore style, baby.
So long, sucker.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's right.
Yeah, guys, and like the video, and also when it's over, put a comment down below. Say, hey, good show, great show, and give us ideas on shows as well, guys. This is the boring time. This is us, flapping our gums, having a good time, hanging out with you guys. That's what we do. Golf, not pickleball. Yeah, pickleball is better than golf, guys. I have to say.
Yeah, big fan.
But if you got ideas on videos, James is thinking about doing a video on the wide receiver room. I think I want to do a video on the tight end room and talk a little bit about that as well. But again, guys, we want to hear your thoughts on, things that you would like us to do videos on, because nothing's happening until the 19th of next month. So we got 2 weeks to twiddle our thumbs essentially. Right. So whatever you guys think. So, I guess we can end our video here. I'll start. Here we go. Trivia podcast about the Chargers. Oh, that's a good idea. Actually, you know what? We could do that also. Kyle, you should do that with your Madden video. Actually,
so I figured out a way that I can set up a Jeopardy thing, so I can pull up a bunch of questions and stuff like that. And maybe you can bring in like people from the chat if they wanted to actually answer questions or something like that. It'd be fun.
That would be good.
Yeah,
I'm down.
James getting relievers, and Andrew's doing cheerleaders and tight ends. I like that. There you go.
Wide.
Yeah. Okay. So you got that Haktua dude. That is so funny. That video just fucked me up, dude.
The memes are all over the place with that.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's good.
I'll just say this, guys. I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers have everything they really need to be successful in this offense and in this defense. They just got to go do it. That's it, right? And bottom line, we say it every year. We think we have enough to be successful. We just got to go do it. And we'll see if we can accomplish that goal, right? Harbaugh's been a winner. And I'll say this too. One last thought is that with Harbaugh, who is a winner, we're going to really know if Justin Herbert is that guy, right? And I hate to say it, people keep sending him shade and say that he doesn't have that it factor and whatever. Well, we'll see. This is the time that he's got to make it happen. So anyways, that's my thoughts.
Yep. Okay, you want to take your last thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, I'll answer that question from Ian right there too. It's like it's going to be interesting to see what Harbaugh brings to the table on preseason, because obviously with Staley, they didn't play starters at all, and I thought I contest that has been a really big problem for the Chargers for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that Harbaugh may start some of the players, like at least the first 1 or 2 games, maybe like for like maybe a drive or maybe a quarter at most.
Yeah.
But I did kind of look up some of those things from some of the previous times when he was in San Francisco. And it seems like he did not start some of the starters. So like some of them, he actually just let them rest. So it could be like a 50-50 chance on that, you know?
Yeah.
I can't see him starting like, Justin Herbert, or maybe even Bosa because he just gets injured so much or whatever. But like, I would like to see some of the starters playing still. And I think that would be really good. But, I mean, when it comes to like the team being underrated or overrated, I 100%, I believe the team is underrated right now. Like, I mean, yeah, everyone's always freaked out because we got rid of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. But the bottom line is we couldn't get it done with any one of those players. So, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, Like, we're paying we're paying too much money for you guys to not perform, and not get us where we need to be. So, I think the Chargers are underrated at this point.
Yeah, that's good points. It's all good points. And Aether, that would be an interesting topic. I mean, we could even just possibly just do something just straight up talking about the schedule in general, game to game, if you want to do, and just say like expectations of that game and such too. So, but my last thoughts is once again, going back to the topic of this whole video is this team overrated? I mean, once again, the hype train's always there for the Chargers. It's just on field is totally different. And I really seriously feel that there's a change in the wind for the Chargers' fortune with a coach like Jim Harbaugh. Like, you got to think a guy that knows how to win, a guy that will not allow mediocrity pretty much. He's a guy that wants to basically be a competitor all the time, every single game, from whistle to whistle, basically full 60 minutes plus to basically find a way to get a win. And I'm excited to be able to see what happens here. And I do feel like, to me, I don't feel like the hype level is so high at this point. I think it's just excitement and optimism at this point. So it's kind of a mid-range for me of where I feel that this team is at. Because once again, I hear everybody saying all these crazy things, 16-1, 15-2, like all these things. Yeah, cool. Like, I need to see this first. I need to see what a first year looks like for us. If it's a full switch of like a 12-5, great, let's go. Like, I feel very confident at that point, and the hype train would be real. I just don't know what to expect at this point, but I have high optimism for this team, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, well, and again, it's going to be very interesting. So, guys, as always, we're the Bolt Bros. We're here for you folks. Again, like and subscribe. Leave a comment for the algorithm. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Let's go.